You know, I've been trapping for a long time and I've caught a lot of coyotes, but there's some that just stand out above the rest. This week we're going to take a ride down memory lane. I'm going to show you a few of my favorites. This is trapping time. Trapping, an art form that has stood the test of time. A heritage built upon hard work, dedication, and pride. Rooted deep with the main goal of conservation. We, as trappers, live this history 365 days a year. With the help of some great friends, along with the love and support of my family, I'm carrying on that tradition. With all the pitfalls that I may encounter, the rewards more than outweigh the costs. Many of the greatest trappers in history have etched their name in time. This is my story. This is my time. This is trapping time.
Trapping Time is brought to you by Vapple at vappleproducts.com, Jeb's Chokes at jebschokes.com, Blind Turtle at blindturtle.net, Smokey's Deer Lures at smokiesdeerlure.com, Blackwater Hunting Services at blackwaterhunting.com, Southern Ohio Outfitters at southernohiooutfitters.com, Popio Creek Trapping Supply at popiocreektrappingsupply.com, Big Game Gut Glove at biggamegutglove.com, Hunters Help Technologies at huntershelp.com, Night Owl Lures at nightowllures.com, Hilltop Outdoor Supply at hilltopoutdoorsupply.com, Dakota Line Snares at dakotalinesnares.com, PCS Outdoors at pcsoutdoors.com, Duke Trap Company at duketraps.com, Deep South Trapping Lures at deepsouthlures.com, Webster's Predator Control at shop.websterspredatorcontrol.com, Little Whiskey Girl at littlewhiskeygirl.com, Wolf Creek Products at wolfcreekproducts.net, Southern Snares and Supply at southernsnares.com, and Console Energy at consoleenergy.com.
You know, one of the greatest things about trapping is being able to share your knowledge and stories with other trappers. You know, as you sit down, you know, every set's different, every lure you use is different. But you know, being able to share those stories is kind of what makes trapping what it is. It's not about the catch, it's about the camaraderie and brotherhood. I grew up in a little town in Pennsylvania called Jollytown. You know, population 10, you know, there's not a lot of people there. And I cut my teeth trapping right around my house, you know. Anywhere I could walk to, that's where I trapped. I checked all my traps before school every morning. I would get up at 4 o'clock, run my line, be back, time to take a shower, because God knew what kind of smell you were going to have on you. You know, take a shower, get on the school bus, and do it all again the next day. This particular coyote is special to me because to date, this is the biggest coyote I've ever caught in my entire life.
All right, what we did here, we've actually got a ridge line coming down and a good road coming in here. And what I did one of my brush pile sets, dug it in the back of this hillside, and I buried it that way. He's pretty upset. This is a big old dog coyote, and he come working around here, and this is just one of those locations where two points get together. You can control them because we're using the hillside as our backing. This coyote come out this road and
when we come back, we're gonna get this big old boy out of the trap. I'm gonna tell you exactly what he weighed, and I'm gonna show you what set did him in. Power Clip by Papio Creek. Changing the way you trap water. Go check them out at PapioCreekTrappingSupply.com.
You take every step to make sure your hunt is safe. Now, take safety to the next level and make sure your field dressing is as safe as the hunt. Hunters Help Technologies has found a way to make sure your post-hunt responsibilities are as safe as possible. The Easy Gut tool helps you get the chest cavity open without cutting anything but that skin that you want to cut. The trachea cutter does just what it says. You just reach into the chest cavity and punch right through that tough trachea. No more fumbling with a knife to try to avoid cutting yourself in the process. You can find all our products at huntershelp.com. Who better to get your trapping supplies from than trappers who know what you need in the field?
Come on in.
PCS Outdoors is one-stop shopping for name brand trapping, predator hunting and calling supplies, shooting and pest control gear at discount prices.
A lure for every animal you'd be targeting.
PCS Outdoors stands above the competition.
Quality Sabo brand snares being made here in Michigan.
Go to PCSOutdoors.com for great selection and prices that'll make you want to stock up for your next trapping or outdoor adventure.
Welcome back. You know, this coyote weighed 52 pounds, which is enormous in my part of the country. You know, we're catching coyotes averaging mid-30s, low to mid-30s, you know, and when I was starting to show this coyote off to people, they thought it was actually a wolf or it was a cross wolf because it was so big. I mean, when you would lay it down next to one of our normal coyotes, he just dwarfed them in size. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take all this fluff that this coyote tore the setup with, we're basically gonna bury, and we're using a coon carcass. Everybody's gonna tell you, beaver, beaver, beaver. Well, where I come from, we don't have a lot of beavers to be out catching so many of them and having it for excess bait. So we use what we got. We catch a lot of big coons, so we're gonna use the coon carcass. We're gonna get it completely covered back up. Can't see it from the air. It's good to go. We're gonna bed our trap. We're looking at from where that coon's actually at to here is looking about 8 inches. So, which will be perfect. This coyote will come in, he'll smell, he'll start to work the set and get caught. You know, even though that coyote was 52 pounds, and like I said, it's the biggest I've ever caught, I still have the drive to go out and catch a bigger one. You know, that's what pushes me because I'm not gonna stop. I wanna catch a bigger one. Well, as you can see, we have about 4 to 5 inches of snow here, and the key to that is keep these traps firing. And this set here has been very successful. This is the 3rd coyote we've taken out of this set in a week. We actually have another dirt hole right over here that's actually been worked. I always try to put in 2 sets anytime that I can. A lot of times I'll put 2 different smells and stuff in it. That way it gives them a little bit of option when they come in to start working the set. But good coyote. I know the landowner's really gonna appreciate us getting this off of here. Smokey's bait does it again, fox and coyote bait. You know, sometimes to catch a coyote that big, it takes a little bit of a change up. We just got lucky. I mean, this paddle bone has been chewed up. You actually see it's been chewed up by some coyotes. So we found this over in the woods. We're gonna bring this up here and we're just gonna lay it in here. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's bright too, so when they come up, this is gonna be quite the eye catcher.
Now, if you think about a dog, that's like a chew toy, right?
It is. It's almost exactly that way, Nate. It's gonna be a lot easier for them to relate that to some type of food too, because they're gonna see it there, they're gonna smell, all their senses are gonna kick in, and anytime I can find old bleached out bones, I always try to use them.
So if he's chewed on that before, he's gonna go over and check it out again.
And you got a coyote to take out in the morning.
Nice.
When we come back, I'm gonna show you another little trick that I like to use in the field to put more coyotes in your shed. If you're serious about putting paws on your pans, Try Fresh Louisiana Crawfish Bait by Papio Creek. Go check them out at PapioCreekTrappingSupply.com.
What do you demand in a quality knife? You want a knife that works as hard as you do. Weeby knives are made for trappers who want efficiency and perfection. The Weeby Elite double-edged fleshing knife has one edge that's ultra sharp, and the other side has just the right edge for pushing fat and meat for perfectly fleshed furs. And don't forget about the Weeby Wicked Sharp, the planet's sharpest skinner. When the blade goes dull, simply snap on a new one, you're ready to go. Find them at DakotaLineSnares.com.
Do you need a blind that will keep you warm on a cold winter day? Do you need a blind that won't blow away on a windy fall afternoon? Do you need a blind that will never wear out? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need a Blind Turtle hardshell hunting blind. This solid one-piece unit is perfect for deer hunters, turkey hunters, archery hunters, and gun hunters. Put it this way, if you hunt, the Blind Turtle is perfect for you.
In 2011, the world of shotgun chokes changed forever. Bobby Sears took his Jeb's Headhunter Precision Choke Tube to the NWTF Wild Turkey Still Target National Championships and brought home the gold. Shortly after, the Game On team got on board. By stacking the shot in front of the wad cup inside the choke tube before it exits your gun barrel, Jebs can extend your effective range way beyond anything you've ever seen. So don't get worked up about a turkey that's just out of range. Ruin his day with a Jeb's Headhunter Choke Tube.
Welcome back. You know, when you're out trapping, you're going to find all kinds of things that are going to spark a coyote's curiosity. You need to take advantage of them. People question the need for trapping, and right here is why we trap. Look at this deer. It's probably at 115-inch 8-point, clean to the bone. And you can see the coyotes have all their grass smashed down and everything. They've been working this a lot. So we're gonna take advantage of them coming in and out on this, and we're gonna set 2 traps here. I'm gonna show you a way to set a trap with a deer skull. Obviously, they've been spending a lot of time here, and anytime they can get a free meal, they're going to keep coming back. I mean, this is prime coyote sign here. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to set this up. We're going to bed a couple traps here. I'm going to pull this skull up. That's going to be our attractor. I'm actually going to put some call lure, which is like a skunky, something to draw them in from a distance. Especially coyotes that have been eating on this already. They're going to know that, hey, I got a meal here. The last time I was here, they're going to know the location, and then we're going to trap them. Now what I've done, I've bedded 2 traps in here, basically similar to what we're going to do on a flat set. And I moved the deer, the carcass was laying that way, so we're going to move it. This carcass has probably been moved 10 times now by the time these coyotes have been on it. We're going to move it in a little closer so they work our traps a little bit better. We want them, they're going to be working along the edge of this field. We want them to hop right in, right off the edge of this, because there's thick brush here, except for these coyotes have got it all mashed down. They're going to work along here. We want them to step in and get caught. But here's what we're going to do. We're afraid that they're going to cart this off, so we're going to pin it to the ground to make sure that they don't move it around and have to work the set a little bit harder. I'm going to take a piece of rebar, and we're actually going to take and drive it down through the eye socket. All right, they're not going to get that moved. Then our next step, we're going to take a little bit of wool and we're going to put some lure on it. We're going to use some Smoky's Coyote Matrix gland lure because this is the breeding season and these coyotes are breeding. Boy, that stuff's thick. That's when you know it's not watered down, it's the real thing. We're going to take it, we're going to stuff it right in the nose of this thing. So when these coyotes come up here, now we're going to take a little bit of call lure, which is some skunk and some different things that are going to attract them. Nate's running the camera and I'm pretty sure he can probably smell this stuff right now.
I sure can.
We're going to smear that in there. Get a little bit more. We got a big cold front coming in and these animals are going to be hungry, and these are the kind of smells that's going to trigger them. It's going to carry a long ways on these cold nights and bring them in. I'm excited about this set. Well, folks, it's a snowy one here in southwestern Pennsylvania. We're looking at mid-January. I've got a trap line run, and we got about 2 to 3 inches of snow over the last couple of days. Yesterday, the traps were dead. I usually find that the second or third day after a big snow and a cold front moves in, that's when the fur starts building up in the traps. What I have out here is actually a bunch of fields intersecting through these woods, and these coyotes, they like to hit these little roads and hit these field edges. So I found it to be successful to set up in these places. The place where we're getting ready to head to now is actually where I caught my first coyote ever at. Now, we're in southwestern PA. This isn't like the Midwest. I mean, good trappers, great trappers that I know are turning in 20 to 30 coyotes a year max, and I mean, they're building reputations on that. I know guys in the Midwest are catching hundreds a year, and not to take anything away from them, but the trapping conditions out here are a little bit different in population. We just don't have the population that they have out there. But we're going to get the basket out of the truck here. We're going to head out the ridge and see if we caught anything out here. Hopefully we did. It's a long walk and it's snowy and coldy. It's nice to come back with some fur over your shoulder. So we'll get the pistol. We'll grab the basket here. Make sure everything's good in there for remaking sets. And hopefully if we caught something, I can show you a few little tricks that I like to use to remake a set, especially in the snow, that'll produce more fur for you. After the break, we're going to stay in my home state of Pennsylvania, and I'm going to show you another memorable coyote. I'll tell you why when we come back.
The trophy moment only lasts a couple of seconds, but the story will be passed on for generations. They only see the glory, not the sacrifice. But I don't wait for my tall tale of glory. I handcraft my journey from start to finish. They don't see what goes on behind closed doors. An epic saga is worth 1,000 words, but my story boils down to 3. Little Whiskey Girl. Save luck for the weekend hunter.
Where'd you get all that stuff?
DakotaLineSnares.com.
I bet it cost you a fortune to ship all that.
Nope, not DakotaLineSnares.com. It's $9.95. Flat rate, it doesn't matter what you get.
Dakota Line Snares and Trapping Products has everything you need right at your fingertips. Our warehouse is packed with trapping supplies you need to be successful on your trap line, and with flat rate shipping of $9.95 on all orders, you get your money's worth.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm going to put my order in at DakotaLineSnares.com now.
The Big Game Gut Glove is revolutionizing the way big game hunters and trappers are successful in the field. The 26-inch version fits over your elbows and protects you and your expensive hunting clothing from blood or cold water. They're made to fit your hands from extra small to extra large.
What I like about them, I can feel with them.
Existing products on the market don't give you the feel or protection you need. Wet or dry, the special non-slip grip bonds tightly to whatever you're handling. The Big Game Gut Gloves are reusable so you save money and promote going green.
I've got one set up here that's a post set, but you know, animals come and urinate on it. Actually, the other day, Jeremy Kelch and I checked the traps and we caught a small raccoon in there, which we turned loose. I basically am setting for coyotes. That's what I'm concentrating on. Any of my sets are coyote sets. I love catching the incidental coons. Coon prices are up really high right now, and when you can catch a 15 to 20 pound coon, it looks pretty good in the fur check. But most of my sets, like I said, are set for coyotes. And we got one. We got a coyote out here. You know, this particular location is very special to me. You know, years ago when I first started catching coyotes, this is actually the location I caught my first coyote. It was a really big female. I was so excited. I can actually see my dad's house from the set. Now this stick here is the post set I was talking about, and I caught a small coon in there. I noticed the other day I had a fox actually walk through it and miss it. But the reason for that was when you're setting for coyotes, a lot of guys like to set back a little bit. Obviously a coyote's a bigger dog than a fox. set it back a little bit, and I actually just missed him. I have no problems with that because sooner or later he'll get slammed by it. He'll get comfortable. Let's get down here and look at this coyote. This is a typical southwestern Pennsylvania coyote. Real nice sized dog. You might get lucky. You might do some howling when we get down here. Actually, where he's at is where I caught my first coyote ever. I was so close to home, my brother was actually driving by. I flagged him down. He was my cameraman on this. All right, what we got here is a nice male eastern coyote. Like I've been saying, we're in southwestern PA, so anytime you can get on one of these, that's a pretty good thing. But I actually caught him in a dirt hole set right here. Funny story about this. So I caught my first coyote. For years, we'd hear him out there. My parents actually just live over the ridge here. They hear these animals out here all the time. So I raise sheep, so anytime we can take one of these out of the herd, out of the gene pool, it's a pretty good thing because with lambs and stuff, they're very hard on lambs. Well, we're going to dispatch this one, get the set remade, and I'll show you what goes into remaking a dirt hole set when a coyote's tore up like this, especially in the snow. So we'll get everything unloaded here and get him taken care of. Don't give this animal any more credit than he deserves. It is your basic dog. And I talk to young trappers and trappers just getting started out. They catch cats and dogs all the time. So don't give the animal any more credit than it deserves. Best thing to do is just get your traps out there and try and catch one. So, I mean, I'm tickled to death of this, don't get me wrong. But I'm gonna show you what, okay, now here's the situation. We made our set, snow came in, we caught the coyote, he tore the place up, makes it almost look like a grenade went off here. We're gonna get in here, I'm gonna show you how to remake this set, and that way it's operational so we can catch another one when he comes by. What I like to do is I use peat moss. I don't have time to carry, to look around for dry dirt. Most of my trapping is done when it's sub-zero temperatures or in the teens. Trying to find dry dirt in that situation, it's just too hard. So I carry peat moss. I'll go to my local lawn and garden store and buy peat moss. It's already dry, it repels water very well, and it seems to work out in my situation best. A lot of guys out there, they like to put antifreeze in their sets. Hey, that's great. It tickles me to death. It works for them. It just doesn't work for me. This is something that I've found success with, and I'm gonna keep doing it. Here's my dirt hole. You can see I've got it all reamed out there. But we're gonna throw a little layer of peat moss down in the bottom. That'll keep that ground from freezing and thawing. It's not gonna affect our trap any. And then, since this is a dirt hole, I want the animals focused on here. I want them to step up in. Now this is your normal, when you read about coyote trapping, they're gonna tell you 7 to 9 inches. That's about 6 inches, if not less, from the actual hole. And a lot of times what I'll do, now this trap here bedded pretty nice, but what I'll do is I usually carry a couple 16 penny nails with me, and I will take and slide them in just to help pin that trap a little bit. All right, now the trap's pinned in. I set all my traps at a very, very light pan tension. So there's no need for pan covers. And I'll just get me a couple handfuls of peat moss, throw them back on there. I'll take my trowel, just kind of blend that in a little bit. And that's it. That's the set. Now, I pick up all my tools, because we got a little bit of cleanup to do. Now what we're going to try and do here is we're going to get rid of a lot of these big clunkers, because it's going to be a day or two before this snow's off here. So a lot of times what I'll do, we got a little bit of blood here for our dispatch that coyote. We're going to kick some of this stuff out of here, clean it up a little bit. A lot of times I'll take and pile some of this stuff up here and use as blocking for the coyote. All right, we're good to go with that. And then what I'm gonna do, it's winter time, I'm gonna I found a little stick here. I'm gonna take one of the prepared baits. A lot of guys like to make their own baits. I don't have time for that.
I figured the good folks in the trapping industry have designed and did all the legwork of designing a bait that works. I'll just use their good wisdom and let them do the hard work. Take that, throw it out of there. I like to use a good type gland lure, and what I'll do is I'll put that right at the lip of the hole. Now this here is a coyote gland lure, but you can use fox, bobcat. I found that bobcat does real well on coyotes. All right, folks, that's it.
You know, the next time you're out on the line, don't worry so much about making a catch. Worry more about making memories and having a great time. Until next time, we're keeping the tradition alive here on Trapping. Remember to set your DVRs every Tuesday at 8:30 on Dish Network channel 266. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at Trapping Time. I personally am going to list every week the conventions, the events we're going to be at. Also, we're going to be posting videos, anything trapping related that's going to make you a better trapper and help fuel your trapping addiction. You know, I have so many talents and I'm good at so many things. You know, juggling doesn't really look that hard. So here's my try at juggling. I better just stick to trapping.